The controversy surrounding the woman who could become the next U.S. Secretary of State took center stage on Capitol Hill. UN Ambassador Susan Rice met privately yesterday with some of her harshest critics, 3 Republican senators who have blasted Rice for comments she made just days after the deadly attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya. The meeting was set up to explain why she initially said the assault was a reaction to an anti-Muslim video instead of a terror attack. It was an attempt to smooth things over with those who are threatening to block her possible nomination as America's next top diplomat. But Senators John McCain, Lindsey Graham, and Kelly Ayotte were not satisfied with her answers.
We are significantly troubled by many of the answers that we got and some that we didn't get.
I'm more disturbed now than I was before that the 16 September explanation about how 4 Americans died in Benghazi, Libya by Ambassador Rice, I think does not do justice to the reality at the time, and in hindsight clearly was completely wrong.
Joining us now from Washington, D.C., Scott Wong, Congressional Reporter for Politico. Scott, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Susan,
for having me.
It's good to have you on this morning. Thank you for joining us. Susan Rice was not called to testify. These were meetings that she wanted to have. As we know now, those meetings apparently didn't go very well. But did she accomplish anything that she needed to?
Well, as you mentioned, she did initiate these meetings. It was a courtesy of her to request these meetings of the senators who had been very critical of her. She was looking to, as you mentioned, smooth things over, try to make things right. The president is expected within the week or maybe at least by the end of the year to make some nominations, including for Secretary of State. And Susan Rice is a top contender for that job. So she's trying to make things right with some of the people that could, in fact, block her possible nomination. Now, if she, achieved her goal, it's hard to say. When the senators came out of that meeting, they obviously were very disappointed. They were not satisfied with her answers, and they had some very critical words for her.
Ambassador Rice told lawmakers that her initial assessment, what she said about what happened that day, those comments were wrong, but that she got her information from the intelligence community. Why wasn't that enough for some lawmakers?
Well, the response from some of the GOP senators, including McCain and Graham, have been that if you're in a position where you're going on the Sunday talk shows, you are the public face of the administration, then you should have your facts right. And in fact, there seems to be just some utter confusion over not only what happened on the day of the attack, but in the administration's response to an explanation of the attack. And in fact, late last night, the 3 GOP senators issued a statement saying that during this meeting, acting CIA Director Mike Morrell informed them that the FBI had in fact changed some of these unclassified talking points, removing instances of Al-Qaeda that have been the subject of this controversy, and then later called back the senators to say, well, in fact, we made a mistake and the CIA was, in fact, the ones responsible for deleting these references. So there seems still to be a lot of confusion and a lot of questions.
Another thing that was mentioned in that statement that was released last night was this: we are disturbed by the administration's continued inability to answer even the most basic questions about the Benghazi attack and the administration's response. Sounds like this thing, Scott, is moving away from Susan Rice just a little bit and becoming about the Obama administration.
Well, I think this always has been about the Obama administration. John McCain and Barack Obama have a long past. They were presidential rivals back in 2008. John McCain has been a thorn in the side of this administration for the past 4 years and probably relishes that role. And of course, Benghazi played a role in these most recent elections we've had between Mitt Romney and Obama coming up on the campaign trail and during some of the debates. So it always really has been about the president and the administration. However, Susan Rice does seem to be the top target here because I think because of her possible nomination to be the next Secretary of State. And this, I think, is a preview of what we might see if Obama does give her the nod.
So let's say President Obama does give her that nod, does nominate her for the job. At this point, based on what happened yesterday, would she get that job?
Well, the president has a prerogative to choose who he wants to serve in his cabinet. However, the Senate also has a constitutional obligation to confirm executive branch nominees. Would Susan Rice get the job? It's hard to say, but the question really is, does McCain have the support of his entire caucus in order to filibuster her nomination? And after the new year, when this nomination will be considered, Democrats will have 55 seats in the Senate. They will need to bring over 5 Republicans in order to get to that magic number of 60 to beat back a filibuster. So all they need is 5 Republicans to break ranks and to help confirm whether it's Susan Rice or whoever will be the next Secretary of State.
All righty, Scott Wong, Congressional Reporter for Politico, joining us this morning. Scott, thank you so much.
Thank you.